Hi guys, I'm super excited to share this layout with you today. It is from Christy's Beautiful Life, and this is the layout that she used. This is the layout right here, and it looks like scribbles, but I use sponge. When I saw this layout, I immediately thought of a fun paper pack from close to my heart, and since I am determined to use up all that paper, I am going to use this today. So let me show you the paper pack. I have one left, and I have some of the bulk. So the bulk in this paper is this side and the waves. So if you are local or you don't mind paying shipping, I do have some of the bulk. It's the side I showed you, and also this wave piece. I have one paper pack without stickers of the original paper pack, and I will link all that information down below. But so what I did, I'm going to get started right away, and I'm going to show you how to. I'm not going to recreate this. I'm just going to show you the techniques that I did to create this effect. So if you look at my layout, what I did was I sponged horizontal lines, and then I put the striped paper, and I'll show you how I did that. So the striped paper looks like this. And so what I did was, you know that we have a white quarter art paper. So I tore the strips, and but first, so the strips are all going to look like this. So I tore a bunch of strips. So if you have this paper, it's called Summer Vibes, break it out and let's have fun with this paper. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to do the opposite. So this one looks like this, but eventually I'm going to create a second page, but I won't make you watch all of that. So what you are going to do is you're going to create, if you are going to make a 2-page, I recommend that you would take a pencil and line up your layout, because that way you'll know what you're doing. So the first line is at 1.5, and so I would pencil line that. I have a pencil somewhere, and it doesn't really matter that it's, and it doesn't matter that because I'm going to erase it. So I'm going to put a pencil line across here. I take my sponge, and the colors that I used are here are the inks that I used. I used Capri. You could also use Carolina, Crystal Blue, or some retired colors that are similar to that. I also used Lemon, Pine. You could use New England for Pine, Nectarine. Also Gold Rush is very similar to that. Candy Red. So if you have a retired Real Red, that would work really well for that as well. So I'm going to take my Capri. I use a sponge. You can use a dauber, and I told you I was going to draw a line, but I don't seem to be able to find a pencil, so I am just going to go ahead and I'm going to look at this. I'm going to move it down a little bit, and I'm going to sponge. I'm not sponging all the way across. I am just lightly sponging a little line. And this is how I did the other side too. And then I would take my torn sheet of blue, so this is my blue. It's not a long piece. I'm just giving you an example. So I'm going to tear that, and you can sponge it, and then you set it on top like this. And so that's going to, oops. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because as I've said before, I'm not a perfectionist. So you're going to put that, let's pretend that's long enough, and that's going to be your line. And that's how I created these lines. I went at 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, all the way down. So that gave me my line paper. I will also show you, I wanted to use my embellishment. I also wanted to use up some of my supplies. So in this kit, this was a workshop kit. I don't often get the workshop kits. I tend to get the paper packs. I usually buy a paper pack, and then with stickers and a paper pack with that. I don't do the workshop just because it's quite a bit of money. So on this back side, this was a workshop, and it came in the summer vibes. And if you made this layout, chances are you've got these little hearts left over, because these were literally leftovers. So I punched a bunch of these little leftovers like this, and I'm going to do the same technique as I did with my layout. I'm going to start with, I like to start with the lighter color, so I'm going to start with yellow. That way, if I mix it up, it doesn't look horrible. So I'm going to start with the yellow, and I've done this one. So I started with this one, I started with nectarine, yellow, and red. I'm going to have 2 other hearts, so I'm going to do that again. So I am just going to, sometimes I will have, I'll make these so that they're a color. Otherwise, I'll just start hacking them off. That way I don't have to, I just keep too much stuff. So I'm using my all-purpose mat, and I'm going to do these 3 at a time because I want different sizes. I'm going to have a large one. I'm going to have a cluster. I had to refer back to it. So I'm going to do all of the ones, all the hearts I think I might need for time's sake, and I'm just pouncing. I don't care if they're equal or if they, there doesn't have to be any conformity to that. So then I put my yellow down, and then I'm going to do my nectarine next. I'm going to move my sponge over, the beauty of sponges, and I'm going to pounce. If you want it to be darker, you can squeeze your stamp pad and then put it there. And then I'm going to just make this my nectarine. Come on, nectarine, show up a little bit. Oop. So now that one changed to nectarine a little bit too much. I'm going to make it a little bit skinnier because I want there to be a little bit of variation. But since it's all scraps and I would have thrown it away anyway, I am not going to be upset with it. And then, okay, my last one is going to be red. I got to find a spot that I haven't used. And if the colors run together, that's okay, because it's a multicolored layout. I'm going to put red on the top, right up here. Then I'm going to give you the dimensions. This really was, this layout came about from, all of this was scraps that I probably would have tossed, because I'm kind of in a tossing mood right now. And there's my hearts. And I like it because it is the same style of, that goes with my layout. So I brought my layout back. Remember, I sponged first, I drew a line, sponged first, then I taped my paper down. The picture part of this is I cut, let me see, I wrote notes so I could tell you guys very accurately. But what did I do with my notes? It's kind of like, you know how you write a grocery list and then you forget what you wrote down. Okay, so I will tell you. The candy apple, well, the nectarine, this part is 4.5. Sorry. So the cardstock that I used is, I used a white base. The inks I used were Capri, Candy Apple, Nectarine, Lemonade, and Fern or Pine, and I will put those in the description below. I cut the Candy Apple, that's this part, at 3.5 by 10, and I cut this part 4.25 by 10.5. So those are my dimensions. I will put them in below. So on my sticker sheet that came with this, this is also a umbrella that came with the layout, and I want to show you how the umbrella is not really, it doesn't really stand out. So I am just going to take my white gel pen. This is a 10. I like the 10 because it shows a little bit more. And because I'm not a perfectionist, I don't even care that I am not going perfectly. But see how it adds so much more dimension to your objects when you put just a little bit of white around it. And I'll put it on the all-purpose mat so that, yeah. So that is my umbrella. And so my title is going to go right here. And I'm going to make a little cluster. I'm probably going to move it over a little bit. I cut out, yes I did. So I'm going to have a 4x6 here. In the layout, let's look at their layout again. So in their layout from this, they had the title right down here, which I'm going to put my title down there as well. And I'm going to move it up a little bit. I'm going to kind of fuss around with that, and I'm going to use some pop dots because I don't want my umbrella covering up my pictures. I'm going to put a 4x6 picture right here. So I am going to go ahead and glue that down. I've already glued this down. So what I did first was I put 3 3x3s, and then on my candy apple, which was 3.5 by 10, and then I put that strip on my nectarine, which was 4 1/4 by 10 1/2, and then I will put this, and this will be my picture. I am going to pop this up so that I can slide my pictures underneath, and remember my cute little hearts, just like the sketch showed me. See, I like it because I'm not great with clusters, and so they're helping me with my clusters. I'm just going to go ahead. I get these little, do you get these at the dollar store? They're in the automotive parts. That's where I get mine. And so I'm going to do a cluster of 3 hearts. I can, if you had like little sequins, orange sequins, sometimes after I do videos, because I get very nervous when I do my videos, after I go back a lot of times I will add clusters, and sometimes when you put your pictures on, which they're pictures of children that do not belong to me, so I'm not putting my pictures on right now. But once you put the pictures on, because they look kind of bare without them, but once you put pictures on, it usually brings out, and these pictures, I love it because the kids have the colors, their clothes match the colors of that are in the paper pack. Do you do that as well? You add all of that. Anyway, so I'm putting 3 hearts here. I might put one flat because it doesn't overlap, and then the ones that do overlap, I add them. So in my, of course, what is it about when you go to film, every tape runner you own suddenly does not have any adhesive? Okay, so then on the other end, if you look at this, see off to the side, they don't have a picture. Another thing that would have been really cute, but I didn't have a picture that went with this, if you had a large picture, that would have been really cute. I didn't have enough nectarine, or I would have gutted it and put a 2-page page on it, and then had nectarine be on this background. But you can see that they put 3 hearts, so I'm going to put 3 hearts, and they're going to be the cute little 3 hearts that I have added my treatment to. So, and you could also have put these on larger ones, and you could have matted the hearts as well if you wanted to. It's all a matter of preference. So this was a quick one, and honestly, I love this layout. It is by Vanessa Bell. I can see me making this layout again, and what I would probably use is, you could, wouldn't it be fun if you just had different inks and you scribbled instead of had the lines? Oh, I just put this on my stencil that I did the other day. Okay, wouldn't it be cute if you had, you could do scribble lines, just scribble. You could make a card out of this. You could use watercolor. I really think it's a good idea to check out her site, and especially this particular layout, because there were so many cute layouts. One person had used watercolor, and they had just swooshed it all along, and they had cute little boots and rain boots and an umbrella, which I thought was super cute. And I have those things, so I probably will create that. I'm just going to very lightly tape this, just so I'll remember where it's going to go, but and then I'll put my pictures on. I am going to overlap. They say the secret of embellishment, which I am not great at, is you always want to have your things touch. My hearts up there are kind of hanging. It would, maybe I could have like a little cloud that my hearts could be on. That would be cute. And I might add that as we go along. But that's my title. I'm going to popped out my umbrella just a little bit so that I can slide my pictures underneath when I am done. And this was a quick and simple layout. When I'm doing the challenges, my layouts tend to be a little bit easier because I am trying to get a lot of them done in a short amount of time. So here's my title, Soak Up the Sun, and I have pictures of the kids by the lake when they were on vacation. So anyway, that is my layout, day number 3 for Christy's Beautiful Life. I will put in the description all the measurements, what inks I used, what inks you could use if you didn't have those, because I know that you guys, with Close to My Heart closing, I'm sure a lot of us are going to be using up our stash and looking back to things that we've had for a while and wondering, are they still usable? And definitely they're still usable. Still lots of fun stuff. So this is my layout. Hope you love it. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.